Hi, thanks for coming to Vibe with me. I'm here to do a general oracle card reading for the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn, today I am going to be doing a mini bonus oracle card reading. I intended to pull one card from each of these decks, an animal spirit guide, as well as an earth magic oracle. But as you can see, you got 2 of one and 3 of the other. All of the messages seem synchronistic and as if they should be read. So I intuitively felt guided to read all of the messages. So your message is a bit long, but like I said, I feel like it's definitely meant. These messages are meant to get out, whether they're all meant for you or there's individual ones that are really going to be meant for you. So let's get started. I hope you find some guidance, clarification messages here. Capricorn, your first message out, animal spirit guide, which I'll say this card came out and I read it and it seemed very specific, and I kept it aside, and then I ended up putting it back in the deck and then came back to do your reading and it came out first again. So this card is definitely some sort of message here for someone. It's a rattlesnake. The experiences that you are presently going through are an initiation into fulfilling your purpose as a healer. The foundation for compassion is an awareness that suffering is a natural part of life, whether through an empathic appreciation of another being's pain or the experience of having suffered oneself. And which beings haven't at times felt the pain or sorrow that is an aspect of living on this planet. The deeper you go into the soul of another, the more you can feel what they feel, yet paradoxically maintain a certain distance or objectivity. A true healer must heal from the heart, no matter what technological, logistical, physical, or shamanic tools they use. The experiences that you are going through now or have just completed are all preparation for you to open your heart to the suffering around you and do your part in alleviating it. You'll find that you are increasingly being asked to offer your time and energy to help others heal, including not only people but also animals, plant beings, tree people, and ultimately our Earth Mother. Some of this healing power will also go to mend the rifts that exist between races, ethnicities, and other species. You'll notice more and more how often your hands will spontaneously feel energized, experiencing it as heat or a tingling sensation. This is the power of spirit working through you. Allow it to guide you in whatever the focus of your healing is, whether simply placing a hand on the shoulder of a friend or more extensively and directly involving yourself in another being's health. Other associations with this card, Capricorn, are initiation, healing, respect, transformation, resurrection, shedding, detachment, death, rebirth, sexuality, renewal, transmutation, clairsentience, agility, wisdom, creativity, primal energy. And the other message that you got along with rattlesnake was boar. Face your problems head on with confidence and courage, and you will emerge victorious. Whatever difficulties you're experiencing now, whether a relationship, career path, or some other concern, dig in and rummage around until you discover how to solve the problem. Then take immediate action and to remedy it. Every time you confront adverse situations in this way, you'll be uprooting those elements in your life that appear to be obstacles to fulfilling your purpose. Life can sometimes be very uncooperative with your rational mind, senses of order, and will at times even block your demands of how events or experiences should unfold. If you're living on Earth, you're going to get your feet muddy sometimes, but it's no call for panic, crisis, or drama. Instead, take a couple deep breaths and view whatever problem you encounter as simply something that needs to be taken care of. As the saying goes, there really are no problems, only creative possibilities. Once you've emerged victorious, which means that you've either conquered your problem or changed your thinking about how you initially perceived the situation, you'll experience a surge of power and confidence. Remember that your power originates from Source, expressed through you, as you. When you've vanquished the illusion of this situation being a problem, you'll not only feel a greater sense of relief and freedom, but you also open the way for your heart, mind, and soul to be more in alignment with the will of Spirit. When you operate from that perspective, you can overcome anything. Other associations with this card are courage, hospitality, earthiness, self-resilience, protection, prosperity, organization, fierceness, uprooting, cleanliness, determination, balance, security, tenacity. And Capricorn, your first message, because you received 3 here. Tsunami. Wake-up call. One of the scariest and most destructive of natural phenomena, along with volcanoes, earthquakes, hurricanes, and tornadoes. A tsunami occurs when a large volume of water is suddenly and rapidly displaced. It's triggered by an undersea disturbance, typically an earthquake or volcanic eruption that causes a series of powerful waves to travel across the ocean at speeds of up to 500 miles per hour. Yet on the open ocean, the height of these waves seems so small they generally pass unnoticed. As these waves, collectively called a tsunami, get closer to the shoreline, their height increases enormously. Even as their speed slows to 50 miles per hour, the distance between the waves, or the trough, can be considerable, taking 20 to 30 minutes from wave to wave. If the trough hits the land first, the water recedes rapidly and dramatically, followed within minutes by an enormous wave that initially comes as a surge. This receding is a clear sign of an impending tsunami. We can't outrun the wave that follows, but we can avoid being swept up in the destruction by moving to higher ground. You are getting a wake-up call. It may be in the form of a significant loss or other dramatic event in your life, typically one that you were not prepared for initially. You may feel stunned at first, surprised by the unexpected events that are occurring, yet you also know that it is time to draw back the curtain of avoidance and denial and confront the truth that exists in the subtext of this event. Face the problems head on. You are experiencing a real-life drama, so there is no need to amplify it any more than it already is. Often when you look back at something like this has passed, you can recall signs that foreshadowed it happening. There may have been obvious clues that you ignored or omens that were so subtle they were easy to dismiss as imaginings of the mind rather than the voice of your instinct. There are many anecdotes about animals operating purely on instinct, picking up on clues and naturally seeking higher ground before an approaching tsunami reaches the land. To negotiate this wake-up call, listen closely to your instincts while at the same time seeking the higher ground of spiritual truth. Capricorn. And your next message after tsunami. Wind. Which, well, you'll see how synchronistic this all is. Wind has something to do, oftentimes, with the activation of water. River. Oh, you know what? Wind activation. The various currents of air that circulate on our planet can be gentle enough to tickle the hairs on our arms, or so fierce they destroy man-made structures as well as trees and other vegetation. Wind moves the air to circulate the atmosphere and keep it from becoming stagnant. When there's no movement, the atmosphere feels somehow heavier. Gentle breezes help cool the land and pollinate flowers, whereas more tempestuous winds can snap tree branches off and stir something deep within us. More violent winds can create temporary chaos with their ferocity. No matter the degree of or intensity, wind will activate us. In this image, the breath of the god of wind stirs the sea and rearranges the sky. As this occurs, the weather shifts. The effects, even in the small area, send ripples throughout, blending and dancing with the water and the sky. It activates the atmosphere, and the world feels more alive when there is wind. The lethargy you feel is the result of a lack of activation. In other words, something that stirs your senses. This could be anything from walking outdoors, feeling the breeze on your body, or inhaling the different aromas that nature herself provides. Or it could be finding the pleasure in a warm bath that helps you release the tension and stress from your mind and body. Music may activate your hearing, which sparks the pleasure center in your brain. Art may activate your emotional responses. The touch of another human may activate a deep need to be physically held in some manner once again. Now is the time for action. Engage in some activity and be fully present so that you forget about your surroundings and enter into that timeless and multidimensional experience of union with the focus of your creative attention. Let your physical body be active. Movement alone, whether quietly dancing by yourself or hiking up the hill over yonder, will require you to be present as possible in your body. Enjoy. And your final message, as you saw before, river, movement. I love this because it's river, water, right? And it's moving. Tsunami, water, major movement, activation, movement. The softened light from the sun falls upon the meandering river that sparkles, reflecting the gentle movement taking place in the river's body. She moves easily around the curves and rocks, sometimes gently as portrayed in this card, and sometimes quite rapidly and intensely. Still, the river's movement will always eventually land her in the bosom of great-grandmother ocean. Right? River to ocean. Some of her water will evaporate along the way to feed the waters of the sky. Wind. I love the synchronicity. Just as it takes place in other bodies of water, and bless the land and the seas with replenishment in her perfectly natural cycle that helps the planet sustain itself. Water is our lifeblood, a nutrient more essential than food. The flow of water throughout our own bodies serves as a metaphor for how life itself flows through us and expresses as us. Fighting or blocking the flow of your life force can lead you to feeling spiritually void and disconnected from source. Just like the metaphor of the river, it does not work to force or fight this compelling movement. When you simply pay attention and observe the flow, it becomes easier to navigate your experiences and see what lies ahead, or at least get a sense of what is to come by the ever-changing geography that unfolds as you cruise along. Your resistance is hampering your ability to make a choice in this matter. Surrender to the movement of life, be grateful, and you will see the signs along the shore and the river itself that offer you clues about what direction your egoless self is to be making. Go with the flow is more than a trite aphorism here. It is essential that you do so now. Breathe, relax, and you will know. Capricorn, I feel like you are having this inner wake-up call. If you don't, I feel like, first of all, let me take a step back, Capricorn. I feel like a lot of you, some of you are going through a very tough experience. This experience, it's facing a problem, a loss, a grieving period, a betrayal, an inner conflict, something that has tugged at your emotions, that's causing a tsunami within your mind, within your emotions, whatever this is for you, some problem that you're facing, some life-changing event even. It's a wake-up call to heal, find the lesson in the experience, balance your mind and your emotions, your mind, your heart, your healing process. It's about healing this extremely tough experience that you're facing, and not to allow your emotions to cause a tsunami inside of you, to activate the healing process, and really go deep to learn what kind of lesson you can actually learn from this. Try to grow from it, release it, and move forward, move towards growth, move towards releasing. Have the confidence, have the courage to take it head on, whatever problem you're facing, and you will emerge victorious. The sun is shining on the other end. So don't get stuck, don't stay stagnant, and allow initiation here. And you'll go towards fulfilling a purpose. You could also end up using this experience, this healing, this growth, to teach others as a healer, as a teacher. That's for some of you. Capricorn, I hope you got some sort of clarification, guidance, message from this. Please let me know in the comments if it resonated and how you liked it. Please give the video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. And Capricorn, thank you for being here.